Morning, everyone. Welcome to the Farzy Show, presented by Destination Retirement, destinationretirement.com. Coming to you from the Steven Singer studio, which today is the patio at the shore, which I'm at with some friends, and my wife, and Little Toots, and Leo is here as well. But here's the intro, the new intro for Friday's show. First off, happy Friday. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and all that type jazz. So the Phillies made it more interesting than they should have. Nothing like a 5-run bottom of the ninth inning to make things a little close, especially when you're up 7-0. Kyle Schwarber got another home run, which was awesome. Alec Boehm continues to hit. Nick Castellanos gets a couple of hits for the Phillies. 3 hits, 3 for 5 night for Nick Castellanos. Great to see. I hate to use this cliche, but a win is a win, is a win, is a win, is a win. So good for them. And the Cardinals were idle, so the Phillies are able to at least run into a share, even though they own the tiebreaker with the Cardinals, so that's a good sign. Coming up in just a second, we'll get to our interview with Dominic Brown, but I just wanted to say good morning, give you guys that fresh content, of course, and react to the Phillies game last night. At least they still held on to the win for Zach Wheeler, so that's also a good thing. So way to go, Phils. Hopefully they finish out this series with the Pirates over the next 3 games in winning fashion as well. Enjoy the interview with Dominic Brown, and now I'm going to throw it back to me in the actual Steven Singer studio.
Marc, that was a great open. Thanks very much, and damn, you're handsome. Anyway, let me tell you about the great people at Destination Retirement, destinationretirement.com. My man, Mike Seibert, is a retirement income certified professional at Destination Retirement LLC and a proud partner of 1847 Financial and an advisor for Eagles, Sixers, and Phillies fans only. Maybe next year the Flyers. But when it comes to long-term savings, why are you giving up the current enjoyment of your income? The answer is have income streams in retirement. So then it only makes sense then to understand how retirement income streams work so that you can direct savings in ways that give you the highest income when you retire. Think of it like climbing a mountain. Is the objective just get to the top of the mountain, or is the objective to get to the top of the mountain and then back down the mountain safely? Going up the mountain is your accumulation phase. Going down the mountain is your distribution phase. Those are the 2 different phases of your financial life, and each should be addressed separately. This month, let's talk about college planning. We all know that college is expensive. Well, have you ever thought about how it will affect your retirement? Well, let Mike show you an efficient way to help pay for your kids' college education and still retire on your own terms. Your first step is to avoid starting your growth cycle over by depleting accounts like 529s for big expenses like college. You don't want to lose your position on your growth cycle and have to start over. You can't get that time back. Instead, set yourself up with the ability to use vehicles that you can take money out of without starting your growth cycle over again. Find out how your annual retirement savings can help your college savings and how your college savings can help your annual retirement savings. Mike will set up your own portal and retirement analyzer, then use the software to help you navigate through the different phases of your financial life. For questions or to set up a meeting with Mike, you can email him at gobirds@1847financial.com or call his office at 484-275-6035. That's 484-275-6035. You can also visit his website at destinationretirement.com. And as always, go Birds. And let's go Phillies. How about Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers? Fellas, you looking to get engaged? Looking for that perfect push present? Looking for just a perfect present in general for that special someone in your life? Well, if you're going to get engaged, Ready for Love diamond engagement rings are standing by at the ready. So they're not just a clever name. And you can go to Steven Singer Jewelers and know one thing. You're not only going to get a great diamond, a beautiful diamond that will wow her, you're also going to get a diamond at the perfect price. That's the perfect price guarantee from Steven Singer Jewelers. Steven Singer Jewelers likes to guarantee every single customer the perfect price. So you never have to worry about whether or not the person next to you is paying less than you because they got some better deal because they negotiated better. No. They're getting the same price that you're getting. Other jewelers like to mark things way up just to mark it down a couple of bucks. Oh, you negotiated it. You really pulled one over on me. Yeah, no. You're already walking in. There's no pressure. There's no haggling. There's no you're fine. Steven Singer's taking care of you with that perfect price every single day. So you don't have to worry about catching some sale or negotiating, whatever, or promo code. Oh, what was that promo code? You just got to go in there and know you're going to get taken care of and treated like family at Steven Singer Jewelers. One place, one price, the perfect price every day. Online at IHateStevenSinger.com. Always fast and free shipping at IHateStevenSinger.com. Without further ado, let's jump on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line. Talk to today's guest, Dominic Brown, who covers it all with me right now. The Rothman Orthopaedics guest line, former Philadelphia Philly, and for always a 2013 All-Star. Dominic Brown joins the show. What's up, Dom Brown?
What's going on, Marc? Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to do this hit with us. Now, first off, I saw a story run on you some time ago about how active in the baseball community that you are in the Philadelphia area, particularly King of Prussia, with the Arsenal, I believe it is. I have some banners here I want to show people so they know where to find you. Arsenal
Right,
baseball, yeah, right there. And then you can also check out the website right here. I see Jimmy Rollins on here. I see Ryan Howard on here. Tell me a little bit about Arsenal baseball.
Of course. First, I just want to say thank you to all those big league guys for reaching out. All my friends are always there by my side for sure in a time of need. Tri-State Arsenal has been around for the last 20 years. I think 1,100 college players, 15 to the big leagues, one MVP and Mike Trout. And then you add myself to it with MLB All-Star. Philip Cuevas played in the minor leagues with the Phillies, signed from the Dominican, reached out to me 2 or 3 years ago, asked if I wanted to be a part of this unique group that we were setting up. Now we got 6 or 7 ex-pro guys that are coaching. Larry Kleins, Scott Carcasey, Lindy Castillo, ex-Phillies guy. As well, I'm hunting on Todd Frazier. He's in the youth as well with his younger nephew. Todd, we just talked the last couple of days. Let's get it going. But yeah, I'm just trying to connect in the youth. I think for me, I wasn't the best player in baseball. At a certain period of time, I was. So for me, I take that same fire, energy, passion into my everyday life, man. And the Phillies done a phenomenal job, man, of making sure that they develop kids not on the field but off the field as well, man. And so for me, I really tip my hat to the Phillies organization for always making sure that I was a professional on and off the field. I have my moments just like anybody, but for me, you know, I'm trying to take the same concept to the youth.
Are you coaching these kids up like hands-on coaching?
Right. Yeah. Of course. Over the weekends, it's untraditional for me. I seen Bill Dancy and a couple of guys that we had as minor league directors rove around, and that's something that I kind of always wanted to do. So over the weekends, I pick my spots on where I go. Philip Cuevas and Lindy and all these other guys, they're the guys that's on the field. I'm the guy that likes to be in the dugout. I like to talk to the guys through the at-bats. The adversity of hitting, defense, all that stuff. We normally have a head coach and then an assistant, and then myself, like I said, I'll come in and try to sharpen things up throughout the game and talk the game with the kids.
Do you have a coach or a manager anywhere at any point, any level of your career that you find yourself either quoting or thinking about a lot when you're trying to convey messages?
Come on, man. Come on. It's too many to just say. But I mean, if you're gonna have to go, you got to go with the GOAT, Charlie Manuel. Come on. At one point, we showed up to Miami, and Charlie was like, "I'll trade all you guys for Stanton." I'm like, "What? So you want to talk about somebody lighting a fire in you every single day? If you were hitting good, you weren't hitting good enough, and when you were hitting bad, he was picking you up, man. So, I got to say Charlie Manuel, man. I love Ryan Sandberg. I had some guys, Greg Legg, a lot of guys, Kevin Jordan in the minor leagues, Ernie Witt. I mean, the list goes on, man. The Phillies do a great job with getting the right coaches to work with the right individuals. And for me, man, that's something that I take into every single day of my life is definitely my coaches. I think that's what happened really on the last couple of years, to be honest with you. I think that with Wally leaving and, me battling some injuries, Jimmy and those guys kind of taking off. Ruben was really close for me, if you know it or not. But, I looked up to all those guys and then kind of looking in the clubhouse. No offense to anybody because we had some great guys, but I don't think that they were Philly guys. The Philly way of doing things, hard 90 on and off the field, making sure that you prepare a certain way. Some of the guys get it, some of the guys don't get it. But, not seeing that with everybody, I tried to put everybody on my back, all 25 guys. And it weighed, man, because I wasn't a big speaker at that time. Over the last 6-7 years, I wanted to know, okay, they sending me down for the last time. What's going on here, Dom? Is it your talent? I said, no. Is it your hard work? I said, no. And then the education piece, it was like, all right, you got to learn how to communicate, but there's no longer you holding things in and, I'll get there. Just keep playing me. That was my biggest thing because all the guys that I was around, that's what they were doing, man. But, being around Jimmy, Chase, those guys, man, even Chase, man, he wasn't a big speaker, but when he spoke, everybody listened. Jimmy was the guy that was warning me, let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go, Howard. All those guys, and still to this day, those guys are still doing the same thing. So for me, to sleep and live a successful life, I had to learn the communication aspect of life, period. And that's something that I always battled with, man. I just put it in handcuffs now and look forward to some opportunities. But for me, I'd rather just play, and that's something that I had to really, really learn how to make sure that I'm communicating. And that's why these last couple of years for me has been very special.
So let's unpack that for a second, because we could go back to that incredible 40-game stretch in 2013 that you played your way to the All-Star. I mean, you could go over the numbers, and I'm sure you know by heart. You averaged a whole 10, not even. I think it was 8.8 at bats per home run. Every 8.8 at bats, you were hitting a home run, which is incredible. You hit 324, 17 home runs in total. All the numbers are insane. To go through that period, when you hearken back to that, when you think about that stretch of your career, why were you having that amount of success? What was working for you then, besides what seemed like everything?
Yeah, everything was working at that point of time. But, my coaching staff, having Steve Henderson, great motivator, not saying that Steve don't know anything about hitting, but when it came to the motivational piece, that dude had it. I would run through a wall for him, had Charlie there as well, run through a wall for him, Ruben. We would see him every day down in the clubhouse. We loved that aspect of it. He was a baseball guy, still is a baseball guy. And then you had Wally Joyner, where Wally was like, at times Dom wanted to hit after the game. At times Dom wanted to do all of that stuff. And he was like, no, go home, get some rest. All right, get bored at what you're doing. I was too creative, man. I go in and I'm hitting off the tee and I'm trying to fix stuff that ain't broke and all this stuff. And 13, it wasn't that, man. I had all the right pieces to line up for Don Brown. And then now some of those guys go away and they give me the keys to the vehicle and I don't know how to drop a stick shift. All right. So for me with Wally leaving, not blaming it on that. I'm just telling you that it's time for Dom to take the diaper off, or take, you know what I mean? It's time for Dom to take the training wheels off. It shouldn't matter who's there. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it for 162. I worked out like crazy, which was phenomenal, but at the same time, like, everybody's coordinating the schedule for you. Right? Like that was my biggest thing when I got done with this thing is Tom, you coordinate your schedule. Your parents don't have to do it. I had everything lined up, man, and most of the guys do. When I talk to guys in the big leagues now, it's like, bro, you create those relationships. Don't let anybody else do that. Right? I had Scott Boras, like when it came to Nike, Rawlings, all these things, they coordinated every single thing that Don Brown, my eating, I wasn't cooking anything, chef this and that, everything's coordinated for you in the big leagues, and that's great. But how about those relationships? So for me, like, I go back to the relationships, and I seen that was the biggest thing that was making Don Brown go. And if I ever talk to anybody, some of those young guys right now, Stott and Alex Bloom and all those guys, that's what I would talk to them about. Let your agent do his job. Let the guys around you do their job, but build those relationships yourself. And I guarantee you're gonna have some success, especially playing in Philly, man, because we got the best fans in the world.
Now, when you say build the relationships, are you talking about from a business aspect? Are you talking about on the field, in the clubhouse?
And that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about all aspects of life, period. I'm talking about the business aspect with your contracts. Hey, I was on those Nike trips as well, Kutch, all of these guys, 15, 16 guys, you're going every year, Griffey. I was building some relationships in that regard. But when it came to the baseball aspect of it, not so much. On the field, guys I wish that I would have hung out with a lot more. I didn't do a lot of that. which is crazy because I was around him every day, but I still wasn't given what was deep down inside on what was going on. That aspect of the game as a young kid, you know, I remember sitting in some of those meetings later on with your Chases, your Jimmys, your Cole Hamels, Cliff Lees, and they were asking Dom what the young guys are talking about. And, you know, for me, the young guys were trying their best to find their way to get to Cole and Chase and all these guys. But, you know, they were intimidated. You know, at one point, we probably had $500-600 million guys. I don't know how many of them to be exact. But, you know, you're getting $1 million every 2 weeks, dude. You know, guys are gonna be intimidated of
right.
you.
Right.
Young guys, we gotta speak up, young guys. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. The game is totally different. I think I was in that last group of guys that, you know, I was 22 when I got called up. That was like you're 19 now, right? You know, all these guys are cooler and all these guys are changing the game. And I know on a business aspect, it looks great because you get a lot of years. But with that being said, young guys, speak up, guys. Speak up in the clubhouse, in the dugout. We seen it with Alex early, right? You know, he spoke his mind, and Philly got right on the train with it, man. I saw that, and I knew exactly what was going to happen. People were like, Dom, you crazy. Philly going to get on the back with you if you speak up.
Right.
If you quiet, if you Ben Simmons it, you know what I mean? Like, that's what made me want to come back. Like, I love Ben, but at the same time, like, guys, we got to learn how to speak out. You know, a lot of the fears that you think that's going on ain't really what's going on. If you speak up on it, you'll see that none of that stuff in your head is what's really going on. I play here, you know, top prospect, still, you know, one of the only #1 prospects and all this stuff, ranked high and all that good jazz. But at the same time, if you don't have a voice, what do you have? You know, and I would run through a wall for a lot of people. I mean, my last play in the big league, you flipping over the wall, like doing all this crazy stuff. And it's like, man, speak out on what you're feeling so that team can get behind you, man.
So the communication aspect of it, the veterans would try to trust you a little bit to say, hey, what are the young guys talking about? How much does it help? How much does it help for a guy like Bryson Stott? Bryce Harper's hurt right now, but how much does it help a guy like Bryson Stott to know that he's got another Vegas guy in his corner like Bryce Harper kind of banging the drum for him?
Right. No, that's everything. And I put money on it. That's probably why he's had some success in the big leagues, having somebody like Bryce. Bryce get it. You know what I mean? Being called up at 19, he gets it. I'm so happy to have him in Philly because he's probably went through everything that you could go through in the game already. And then he's still, 28, 29, however young he is. You know, he's able to give it to these young guys. And that's awesome to have in Philly. You know, with him out the lineup right now, we're hurting a little bit. We just lost 3 tough ones to Chicago. But, you know, with having that guy as the leader, we're in for some great things with these youth guys. But they, like I said, these other guys that's unfamiliar with Harper, you know what I mean? He got his own shoe and all this stuff. You know, a lot of the guys, they're looking at all these treats, all these goodies. You know, you sit in the clubhouse and you're watching that, and you're seeing this Rawlings deal and bats and all this stuff that a lot of guys don't talk about. You know, guys need to start coming over and dreaming a little bit with it. That because with me being around Howard, Chase, and all these guys, you would see all the bats and all this stuff, and it made you want to play better. You know what I mean? I think the same thing with Joe Girardi. For myself, that would have been a perfect guy for me to play with, man, because, you know, bringing that old school dynamic in with a little new school twist, you know, it didn't work out quite as well what we wanted it to be. You know, Tom's coming in right now. I heard Switch talking about, you know, him being able to give him to relax. That's tough, man. Right. Switch got a V8 engine. You know what I mean? To be able to give that man some breaks, speaks volumes. So when I heard him talking about that yesterday on the air, it made me really, you know, tune in and listen up to what we got going on since Joe has left. I think Nick said it the best too, with somebody getting fired, man. It makes you want to tighten up. You know what I mean? You know, those changes. You understand what I'm saying, Marc?
Yeah, it could be the fire lit under you, as you were referencing earlier. As far as Nick Castellanos goes, he had a little back and forth with a reporter, and He has been booed in
Jim
Philadelphia.
Salisbury.
Yes, Jim. And I think it's a legit question.
Jim's the man.
Jim's
the man. Nick's the man too, but Jim's the man. He's been here. He's trying to tell you straight up. This is how we do it in Philly. You know what I mean? I love Nick too and what he's bringing to the table. But in Philly, hey, you got to stand up a little bit. You know what I mean?
So one of the things Nick Castellanos said that wasn't in the original clip that was released by Jamie Apodi of 6ABC was the line about, I don't have to comment about that, or I don't think I have to comment about that, meaning the boos. How should a player take it? How should a player respond to it? Especially when, look, the numbers are out there. We're all watching. We know the struggles are there. So how should a player respond to that?
So you have the player, you have the media, and then you have the fans. That's the three. This is how I always looked at it now. So you wonder, how the heck Dom talking about that? This is how. So for me, I know that I had those three. Myself, the media, and then I had the fans. If I speak up, Marc, then now I can make sure that my voice is being spoken out to with the fans and the media. If I don't speak up, Jim can write what he wants. The fan can have their own outlook on Dominic Brown. So for me, no matter if I struck out 4 times or if I was 4 for 4, like I said, there's certain things, and Nick's unbelievable. One of my favorite players to watch on our ball team. But with that being said, there's some ways here in Philly that you have to get accustomed to, and that's all that Jim was saying. Listen, I'm gonna write the story, Nick. You can speak out on it, or I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write it regardless. And now the fans are, hey, it's the same way I talk to my kids. Son, you got a voice. My daughters, you have a voice. Mommy, daddy have their own opinion. One of them might be right, both might be right. But if you speak out on it, now both sides. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I would tell Nick if I'm the PR guy. We got Kevin Gregg back in the building from Boston. So I know I'm pretty sure on what Kevin's talking to him about. Maybe he isn't. I don't know. But for me, that's how I would approach it, is that it's always 3 sides. And I would rather have my own voice, the same way that I talked about earlier with this relationship stuff. When you have your own voice, now all of a sudden some things change. And, Nick's the ultimate pro. But, here in Philly, it is done a little bit different. And I just think, like I said earlier, man, we got the most unique but the best fans in baseball, man. And when you learn how it works here, and not saying that he needs to change anything, keep doing your thing, Nick. But there's a couple different sides to it, man. And get up, answer those questions, man. They might be difficult. You might think that they're not the best questions, but Jim got to ask these things. He's been around for a long time, really professional guy, and he knows that if you do it, you're gonna be all right.
So it sounds like, Dominic, from what you said earlier about Alec Boehm, what he had to say when he made those 3 errors at third base some months ago, I bleep and hate this place. He stood right there in the clubhouse in his locker and said, yeah, I don't hate this place, but yes. So in other words, kind of own it. Own your struggles and own your response.
And everything is taken care of, Marc. I only came back to Philly because I didn't get 10 years in the big leagues, man. I was scared to death, all right? Because for me, I didn't get my dream accomplished, right? I didn't really know what that really meant at the time, but now being in the youth, that let me know that, all right, standing up for yourself, 0 for 4, 4 for 4. Now a guy like Jim, I put money on it. If he see me today, he going to say, man, you stood up for yourself, man. You might not have had your 10 years, but you probably was one of the best guys to work with. Those are the things that, like I said earlier, the youth building those relationships, because you don't know. Nick, he got a bag, as us young guys would say. He got a good contract, right? And that's all great. But at the same time, now after baseball or your kids coming up, right? All this stuff is happening. And then now 20 years later, your kids seeing this interview and going over this stuff with social media and all this. I'm thinking about all that. So if I take care of the relationship, like I said earlier, job's done. Marc, job's done, Marc. It covers every area. That's what you want. You want to be able to cover every area that is, because you ain't going to always perform well. Bottom line. Right. You ain't going to always perform well. And when you're not, your teammates looking. Jimmy and those guys looking. You know, I always say I got 2 or 3 bats that I break a year across the knee. All right? I try to limit that, you know, because I know that they're 160 a pop, even though we ain't paying for them, but at the same time, you see what I mean? The mindset of the relationship building, right? You're going to always come back to this point, and you're going to be fine if you do it that way. And Nick's a great dude, man.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, when you are going through struggles, and you referenced earlier, going through your own struggles, watching other players go through their struggles, what can you do as a player to try to pull yourself out of that slump?
The relationships. Your teammates are what's going to help you get through that. All right? Like, the more you speak out on it, the more you're going to be able to get help.
Okay.
That's what this generation now, they're learning a lot better than us older guys, right? Where we would say, I'm going to hit my way out of it. I'm going to swing my way out of it. That's all great. But, you know, with the knowledge and information that I got now, I can take 5 swings in the cage where I would have took 300, 400 swings to feel it. Not to actually know what I'm doing, Marc, but to feel what I was doing. And that feeling will get you prepared in spring training. Now some of the guys coming right off the jump. Bryce Harper right off the jump this year, right? Because he's getting more information, not off of feel, off of what's really going on, right? Your hit tracks, rapsodos, all this stuff. You take a couple swings and you know exactly that feeling, and you see it on paper. Oh, we ain't have that. We going into spring training off the tee, front toss, little machine, right? And you're chasing that feeling, and the good guys can feel it. The other guys, you know, I'll find it here and there, and boom, and then it goes away because you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? You're finding it off of hard work instead of finding it off the education, man. And that's the thing. But when you're in these slumps, your teammates, man, your upbringing, whoever you talked to when you were brought up, coaches, parents, but your teammates, man, you were around those guys from 1, 2 o'clock to 11 o'clock every day. On the road, 3 o'clock to 11, 11:30 every day. Them relationships that you build in the clubhouse, Mayberry can look at me and see that something ain't right with Dom. But Dom's so stubborn that maybe I'll talk to him and give it to him a little bit after that. Well, Jimmy's going to come right up to you and tell you, hey, bud, pick it up. Come on. But the other guys, maybe not so. But if Dom was willing in this particular area, and this is what I'm telling you that I was missing, when you're down in the dumps, Dom's saying, just keep me in the lineup. I'm going to produce. That's how I was raised. But now as I've gotten older, I've gotten smarter, right? And I started to understand that if I speak out and use these relationships, everything's covered. Okay. Everything's covered. That's what it's all about.
To bring it back to this current team again, what do you foresee for the rest of the season for this Philadelphia Phillies ball club? Will they make a wild card? Do you think they'll just stay in the hunt? What do you see for them?
I think they're making the wild card. You know, I believe in the Philly way. I believe in the Phillies, especially now, man. With these, I feel like we got, you know, enough veterans on the club, but also having some young guys in the mix. I think the bullpen is going to be fine as well, and our starting pitchers is going to be good. I think that we're going to be in the playoffs this year. When's the last time? 11, 12?
2011.
Jeez. Yeah, I think that we're definitely going to be in the playoffs this year.
All right. Dom Brown, great catching up with you, man. Seriously, I really enjoyed this conversation. And make sure you guys check out all things Arsenal Baseball. Of course, Tri-State Arsenal Baseball. You can follow them on Instagram right here. And also check out the website as well, Tri-State Arsenal. And you guys can look at all that stuff with Dom Brown and the rest of the Tri-State Arsenal and all Dom Brown's teams. Dominic, this was an absolute pleasure, man. Thanks so much for joining me.
Marc, thanks for having me, man. Let's catch up.
Like I told you guys yesterday, I thoroughly enjoyed that conversation. I'll tell you again. I like that. Like, there's no excuses. He's not making excuses for himself, but he does say that Wally Joyner, who I think just spent a year with the Phillies, not even as the hitting coach, but like the assistant hitting coach, like assistant to the regional hitting coach. And for whatever reason, he just spoke Don Brown's language. And it wasn't there, and then things just didn't work out for Dominic Brown for whatever reason. But he takes ownership of it. I like that he does that. And if he was going to put just like try to fill in the blank as to why he wasn't able to connect the dots after that point, outside of his own control, it was the inability to communicate. He wishes he communicated more, had built better relationships when he was playing. It sounds like he was trying to do way too much. And it also sounds like he would have benefited from the analytics. That was one thing I found very interesting, that in spring training, he's like hitting off a tee while these guys are going over algorithms, like basically. And Joe Girardi, wow, they would have loved playing for Joe Girardi. I thought that was also interesting. If we ever get him on the show, the one regret I have about that interview is I found it very interesting. Like in his career, he went to the Albuquerque Isotopes. And that's where I believe he finished his professional career in the minors. Ryan Howard, I believe, was also his teammate. I know they were on the team in the same year. I don't know if one was traded or let go, whatever. But I think they were teammates on the Albuquerque Isotopes in the minors. How crazy is that? So I really enjoyed that interview. And thanks to the good people at Rothman Orthopaedics who bring us our guest line. Maybe your knee gave out. Maybe you tweaked your back. Maybe you popped your shoulder. And now you can't do what you used to do. Well, that's just part of getting old, right? Wrong. Not when you have Rothman Orthopaedics and the Rothman approach to orthopedics. It's here to get you back to being you. Back to running, walking, working, and playing. Back to living your life the way you want. With same-day appointments available, you can start today at RothmanOrtho.com. That's RothmanOrtho.com. Rothman Orthopaedics, the official orthopedic partner of your Phillies, Eagles, and Sixers. How about Manscaped? Gentlemen, you want to strive for gold in your life, right? Gold medals, gold watches, gold everything. However, there is a certain type of man who goes the extra mile. He walks with confidence. He walks with an edge about him. He giggles in the face of danger. That's a Manscaped man. By now, you've heard of Manscaped. And how about this? The Platinum Package 4.0, presented by Manscaped. Fellas, you want to look good everywhere, right? Well, Manscaped Platinum Package 4.0 is the one-stop shop you'll need, as it includes Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear, nose, and hair trimmer, and it all comes with skin-safe technology that helps reduce the risk of nicks, so you can manscape with confidence and comfort. Plus, ultra-premium body wash, 2-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, crop preserver, anti-chafing ball deodorant, crop reviver ball spray and toner, anti-chafing boxers. What are those? They're comfortable, I'll tell you that much. And the Shed travel bag to hold all the goods that you'll be using to take care of your goods. Manscaped is the leader in below-the-waist grooming, and now you can trust Manscaped with the whole shebang. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with promo code Farzy. That's promo code Farzy for 20% off at manscaped.com. And speaking of 20% off, how about 20% off your CBD order from Freestone Farm CBD when you use promo code Farzy? That's promo code Farzy at FreestoneFarmCBD.com to get 20% off your order. You like CBD, you use CBD, you want a 20% off your CBD. We'll go to Freestone Farm CBD with promo code Farzy. You'll be blown away by their amazing strain menu. It is top of the charts. Like their insane tropical tasting Bayox that clocks in at an amazing 24.1%, and Super CBD, which is half Hindu, Kush, and 21%. And the genetics of these guys don't get any better. They grow all their premium hemp flower in the Garden State with all organic inputs and IPM, so there's nothing synthetic from farm to jar. Then after harvest, they carefully preserve all the plant compounds with a perfect 3-month cure. Just one look or smell is enough to let you know it's CBD done right. Once again, FreestoneFarmCBD.com. Promo code Farzy for 20% off. How about the amazing people at Blue Chew? BlueChew.com, promo code Farzy. Get your first month free. Just pay $5 shipping. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so there's no embarrassing trips to the doctor or pharmacy, as Blue Chew ships right to your home in a discreet package. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form at a fraction of the cost. Here's their process. Sign up at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days, and it's all done online. Again, discreet. Also, Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem here. Blue Chew's tablets are chewable. Blue Chew's tablets are made right here in the good old US of A, and they prepare and ship directly to your house, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy. Once again, special deal for our listeners and viewers, Blue Chew. Try it for free when you use promo code Farzy at checkout. Promo code Farzy and just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Farzy, all one word. How about PHL Sports Station, Philadelphia Sports Station, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs? That's PHLSportsStation.com. And on the Versus Game app, download the Versus Game app to your phone, follow at Farzy Show, and answer our question. It's always binary, always yes or no. The question for this week, here it is. Will Juan Soto get traded before the MLB trade deadline on August 2nd at 6 p.m.? Will Juan Soto get traded? Go now to the Versus Game app, follow at Farzy Show, and answer that question. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you guys as per usual. My thanks to Dominic Brown for joining the show. Really good. Really great, actually, to catch up with him and see what he's up to these days. Helping the kids achieve their baseball dreams. That's the Farzy Show, everyone, presented by Destination Retirement, destinationretirement.com. Chat check. You guys are amazing. Morning Rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars. Oh, my God. Look at all that stuff that happened. Yay. Have a great weekend, guys. Talk to you on Monday. See ya.